The Duchess of Sussex support for British black business and community. The Duchess of Sussex supports black-owned businesses. If you want to support underrepresented businesses, one great way to do so is to shop black-owned and founded brands on Black Pound Day, held the first Saturday of every month. Representation matters. It's nice to see Meghan use her position of power or influence to adorn black-owned brands. The cure to poverty is wealth creation through entrepreneurship and well-paid workers. Meghan is a role model to many black entrepreneurs that share the same color skin as them. The Duchess promotes stories of success and of hope to young black business people. Using her platform to champion black brands, opens doors of opportunity and expands sales and market share. Structural inequality. Wealth growth enhances family and community economic viability, giving possibilities for future generations and encouraging resilience in unpredictable times. Unfortunately, structural inequality favors certain families over others, causing a wealth difference between white, black, and other underrepresented ethnic groups. Represent radio station Brixton. In 2018, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex visited Brixton in South London. They met representatives from Represent 107.3 FM, a youth radio station which trains hundreds of young people every year in media and employment skills. They were the first royals in history to visit Brixton in an official capacity. The Represent training program helps young people develop skills. It has impacted more than 4,000 young people, offering training in areas such as audio and radio production, as well as communication skills and confidence building. African British citizens who were part of the Windrush generation, who arrived in Britain from the Caribbean between the years 1948 and 1973. There is a long history, and throughout this history, Black Britons faced racial discrimination in almost every field of life. From schooling to professional life, they were considered a lesser human being. Due to this discrimination, they faced difficulties in finding equal opportunities. It eventually affected the wealth creation of Black Britons. The wealth of Black Britons. In comparison to white Britons, Black Britons of African descent who immigrated in Britain more recently have just 10 pennies on the pound as compared to white Britons. This is due, in large part, to the fact that decision-makers in this nation placed barriers in the way of the progress of black people, at the same time as they were implementing programs to expand the middle class. Structural factors continue to affect generations, imposing income disparity on some populations. This disparity reflects past discrimination and governmental failures, such as the Windrush scandal, against communities who have contributed to the British economy. Inherited money helps the next generation with homes, education, and savings. White households inherit 4 times as much as Black Caribbean ones. Almost 60% of Black people in England and Wales live in London, which might affect a family's generational wealth. Lack of credit or high-paying occupations contributes to the wealth gap. For people of colour and young Black Britons, reading stories of successful people who look like them motivates. Not only that, but representation in positions of power and decision-making is necessary, because that's how equity and opportunity are translated from words to action. The Duchess of Sussex promoting Victor Glamour. Meghan joined her husband Prince Harry for a joint interview with the Evening Standard to mark the beginning of Black History Month in the United Kingdom, during which the couple declared the need to bring an end to structural racism within the country and abroad. For the appearance, Meghan wore a sleek, asymmetrical knit top by Haitian designer Victor Glamour, and brown leather trousers with her hair pulled back into her signature slicked-back bun. Housing value and pensions make up most Black British household wealth. Only 8% of Black elderly households had a personal pension, and their average annuity was £200 a week less than white British senior families. In 2016 to 2018, 63% of English families owned their home, while just 33% of Black African and Caribbean households did, compared to 68% of white British and 74% of Indian homes. In the last decade, Black families in Britain have accumulated zero wealth via home ownership, compared to £115,000 for white families. If you are white and British, the world you see often looks just like you, on TV, in media, in the role models celebrated across our nation. That is not a criticism, it's reality. Many recognize this, but others are not aware of the effect this has on our own perspective, our own bias, but also the effect it has on young people of color. Black college graduates earn 23% less than whites, and are twice as likely to be jobless. There are no black executives in the top 3 jobs of any FTSE 100 business. Black professionals stay positive and create career networks. 71% of black respondents said networking may help their careers. For as long as structural racism exists, there will be generations of young people of color who do not start their lives with the same equality of opportunity as their white peers. And for as long as that continues, untapped potential will never get to be realized. Part of the reason black college graduates are paid less is because of media portrayal of black people. The Daily Mail has a history of anti-black racism. They are a daily failure. The NAACP Actual Digital Civil Rights Award will be given annually to leaders creating transformational change at the intersection of social justice and technology. Its first recipient is Dr. Sophia Noble, scholar, author, advocate, and co-founder of the UCLA Center for Critical Internet Inquiry. Sophia's work speaks to a new chapter in the movement for civil rights. This community knows what it means to speak up for what is right, and to march for what is just. As the fight for justice still remains, it's time to extend this march to the world online, a place where hate and discrimination are fueled instantly, propagated globally, and felt deeply. At the NAACP Awards, Prince Harry wore Harry's bespoke tuxedo, is also by a black British designer, Oswald Boateng, based in London. I think it's safe to say that I come from a very different background than my incredible wife. Yet our lives were brought together for a reason. We share a commitment to a life of service, a responsibility to confront injustice, and a belief that the most often overlooked are the most important to listen to," said Prince Harry. Meghan wore a custom Christopher John Rogers blue one-shoulder silk dress. The Duchess chose a one-shoulder gown in multiple shades of blue. The New York-based Christopher John Rogers dress featured a sash that extended to a delicate train from the back of the dress. Rogers is known for his powerful use of color. Rogers also designed the purple coat and dress Vice President Kamala Harris wore to her inauguration in January 2021. Grace Wales Bonner. Who can forget that moment that broke the internet, when King Archie was introduced to the world? Archie's name was announced on Instagram after his debut, garnering millions of likes and engagement on the social media platform. The introduction to the world was done in a short interview with a black reporter to give opportunities to black reporters in the UK who are generally ignored by royals. There are no black royal reporters. The iconic picture with 4 generations of Archie Harrison's family captured in one image. His mom, Duchess Meghan Markle, wore Grace Bonner trench coat dress for this very special occasion. Just before the pandemic in the United Kingdom, people of African and Caribbean descent who were born in the country earned 85 and 87%, respectively, of the salaries of white people born in the country. When compared to those of mixed white and black Caribbean ancestry, people of black African ethnicity had an average family wealth of £24,000, $32,000, while those of mixed white and black Caribbean ancestry had £42,000. People of white British origin had an average family wealth of £197,000 per adult in the population. The Office for National Statistics found that black families in Britain had accumulated no wealth via property ownership over the previous decade. In comparison, a white British family has acquired around $163,000 through keeping property and land. Only 30% of black families own homes, which is a major factor. The numbers illustrate their difficulties earning money and passing it on to their offspring. There is some good news, however. While the overall socio-economic status of black Britons is still lower than that of white Britons, the gap between the two groups has been narrowing in recent years. While Black Britons are still more likely to be unemployed than White Britons, the unemployment rate for Black people in the UK has fallen to its lowest level. There are still significant challenges for Black Britons, and policymakers must devise policies to narrow down this wealth gap. What policies will help to close this gap? If you liked this video and would like to support us with a one-time donation, give us a super thanks. Support us by becoming a patron if you want to support us monthly. Thank you for this video, a thumbs up and share it. Also subscribe to the Duchess of Impact channel, and don't forget to hit the bell icon, so you never miss any updates. If you believe in our work, in self-optimization, and would like to support us, consider joining our channel membership by clicking join. Leave us a comment. Thanks for watching.